Alright, welcome to the Discourse video. Is Silksong too hard? Maybe it's too easy. Maybe it's just right. Did Ari and William take 7 years too long and they're out of touch, have been playing the game too long, and it made it too hard for everyone people can't enjoy? Is the game so hard that streamers and opinionated YouTubers cannot finish the game within like 24 hours or generously 2 days of immediately, upon release? Are game reviewers having a challenge, like having a deadline and having to post a review, a video, a written review, and they find the game too hard and they're too frustrated and they find the game very frustrating and has mechanics that are out of date and doesn't work in the modern era? Having a difficult game, it's getting people it's getting people who have disabilities, or people who have learning disabilities, or people who just don't have time in their day because they have a life. Is it gatekeeping them? Can they not play the game? I wanted to go through a few, videos here and analyze what the people have to say after my playthrough, and it's my opinion. Obviously, everyone has their own opinion; they're entitled. My opinion is some of these people are just flat out wrong, or they have different motives, or they don't know what they're talking about, or they took wrong routes. Um, so that's my basis of my opinion so far. Like seeing the discourse before release and then playing the game and then getting through the discourse more. So a bunch of these videos I'm gonna be blind reacting to, and I think I've seen this review already by Fully Rambotic, formerly known as Yahtzee, and I have some disagreements there. And then I have a couple other ones, so we can stick around. I'm not gonna watch everything all the way through, perhaps because I wanted to also show that here. Look at this, like somebody has been playing the game.
In today's video, I decided I wanted to do every single boss, but doubled. Now this means that
And they're playing
matter
it
what,
double
it would
bosses.
be much harder than anything I've done before. I've already done
That's
Steel
interesting.
Cursed, and I'm gonna be honest, this
Like
takes the
game
by a
too
long
hard.
shot. Now, not every boss will
Some
work,
people
of
not
them
hard
are
enough.
doubled, and
They want to do everything with double bosses. Seems simple enough. So they go through the game, and each boss is spawned twice. Yeah. I kind of like the idea. It's like a mod. I wouldn't mind, if they had some kind of mode where they could have the game in there. Oh, one Savage Beast Fly, not enough? How about two Savage Beast Flies? And you survive it.
God, this is...
And last judge. One last judge? Try two last judges. This seems impossible, but I assume... Let's see here, does he do it?
I cannot believe...
Okay. Go through.
Yes!
He's got one. Oh. I like the costume, the pink. The hair bows as well.
Yes! Yeah!
Game too easy. Too easy.
I'm stuck in this cutscene. This better not kill me. It's just before I died. Literally the second I died.
Game too easy, I think. You can do two last budget. If somebody can do two last judges, simultaneously, so I think game too easy. So that no, I think it's pretty good. That's first try, day 3. Okay. He's gone through. Yeah. So let's go through some of the videos here. Let's start with this review here and then react to it. Let's get it on the full screen. Here we go.
Well, piss on a perplexed pedestrian, a game that has been in hype hell for 6 fucking years, has actually come out, having achieved a sort of hype singularity and caused every other game to flee in terror from its surprise release date, like American senators from a perfectly reasonable piece of gun control legislation. Hollow Knight Silksong is
already taking shots at the devs, doing a surprise release. Oh, will somebody think of the other devs, the poor other devs who who haven't considered that Silksong has been released and they have to move. Okay.
The GTA 6 of indie games, or possibly the Yandere simulator of marginally less indie games. And of course, within hours of coming out, the backlash began from all the people who weren't terribly Hollow Knight invested but got swept up in the hype. Wait, this just feels like a DLC for Hollow Knight, they cried, to which everyone in the know replied with, yeah. Like with 10 E's at least. Because of course, famously, Silksong was originally going to be a DLC for Hollow Knight and increased in scope enough to warrant a separate release. So what the
Yeah, yeah. So far, so true. Like, game was supposed to be DLC. And then they kept on increasing it. Now it's its own independent game, and as everyone says, it reached mythical status as no one thought the game was gonna come out. Like, maybe is this vaporware? Is this never gonna be released? Will they actually live up to the hype? Is the game just short and not that interesting? Ooh, but upon playing it, I think it's so good. Like, I think they've done a fantastic job. Well worth the wait. Great job.
fuck would you expect? It only took 6 years, either because Team Cherry were being perfectionists to a fault, or because they were pissing about giving each other horsey rides for a lot of it, not because they were converting it into a full 3D MMO FPS and strapping Catherine wheels to its nipples. So no, it does not live up to the hype. These things never do. Let's just get through the formality of review.
No, I think it does. Hard disagree here. Like, I'm gonna say, yeah. I also know that he didn't go through Act 2, which is kind of insane if you're doing a review, honestly.
Viewing it for what it is, and then get back to clutching our bladders over Half-Life 3 some more. So, in Silksong we play as Hornet, important Hollow Knight NPC and occasional boss fight, who is captured by strange bugs and carted to the stricken land of Farloom. Oh, come on. A faraway land whose name incorporates the word far. What was that, 1 coffee's worth of work? Plus 1 fun-sized Twix to change the F to a PH? Hornet escapes from her...
I don't know. I like Farloom. It's kind of cool. It's like Farloom. Yeah, it's far. I don't know, man. I think it's interesting. It's fun. It's a play on words. I like it.
captors and winds up alone at the bottom of the requisite big old maze-like world of danger and ruin, says to herself, well, since I'm here, got nothing else on, might as well go see what they wanted from me. Which is an appreciably philosophical approach to being kidnapped, I think. Most people would be on team run down the street screaming for cops, rather than going, you know what, I am curious to know what all those sex toys on the end of power drills were for. I came away from Silksong feeling marginally more invested in the narrative than I was in Hollow Knight, and I think a lot of that comes from the fact that Hornet actually talks, with like full sentences, and seems like a reasonable person. I'm surprised by what a breath of fresh air that is in a classic moody-ass death, grim, Souls-like atmosphere, when you run into one of those NPCs that are all like, hello, I'm Manky Dave, you'll be wanting to get to the Citadel then. Could you collect me 9 caterpillar pelvises? It's quite...
I mean, I like those despaired weirdos in your Dark Souls, your Elden Ring, your Bloodborns. Yeah, I like the side protagonists as well. But I love Hornet, of course.
quite pleasing to have a protagonist who will say what I'm thinking. That is, I shall keep an eye out for what you request, Mr. Dave, if I find time as I pursue my own agenda, but can make no promises, for you have quite a disagreeable smell, and caterpillars don't have skeletons. So as I said, Silksong is more Hollow Knight. If you like Hollow Knight and that was all you needed to hear, then feel free to bugger off after you've liked and subscribed, which of course you were planning to do anyway. I'm experimenting with inserting the nags into the middle of reviews, so you don't all zone out for them like you usually do. More of that unique Hollow Knight lonely atmosphere,
Okay.
challenging combat stroke platforming gameplay, and careful exploration textured by not having a map of any area till you found the place where you can buy one. Drawing your own map not being conscionable because, I don't know, maybe we don't want to make an enemy of the Cartographers Union. But Silksong has one big problem, that all...
Finally, we're gonna get to. Is this glitching out for me? Or is
I
this,
don't know. Maybe
it's an export. I don't know. If it's me, I didn't notice this before.
we don't want to make an enemy
Maybe
of the
this is video.
Cartographers Union. But Silksong has one big problem, that all its little problems sit on like a beanbag drenched in cat piss, and that's that it is an elevated DLC, and as such makes certain assumptions, such as that you've already played Hollow Knight, and merrily goes about designing its levels with the blind assumption that you don't need to be reminded of important things, like how you can attack downwards to bounce off stuff. More importantly, when a Souls
I don't know. I mean, what's wrong with that? Like, play Hollow Knight, then play Silksong. Does even Hollow Knight, does that tell you that you should down, or did you like? I remember figuring that out. I don't remember a tutorial, or was it like an enemy that was near spikes? I don't remember.
like or other brand of hard game does a DLC, it's with the tacit understanding that the player is going, ha, that wasn't so tough, what else you got? And that the game is saying in response, oh, look who thinks there, Mr. Big Trousers. Right, message received, no more pissing about. As such, Silksong is very, very hard. Some might say unreasonably so. From the second act onwards, about half the enemy attacks do double damage, as do most of the environmental hazards, largely thanks to Hornet taking a similar approach to getting hit as she does to being kidnapped, i.e. stand perfectly still after the first hit to see where the enemy's going with this. So functionally, the game cuts your already meagre health points in half, which is one bollock thoroughly kicked. At around the same point, the game begins a whirlwind polyamory with dive bomb happy flying enemies, gauntlets of whirring saw blades, and dark low visibility environments where the only way to know what's beyond your current ledge is to jump off and pray to Dung Beetle Jesus. All of which
Maybe. I remember when I first started playing Silksong, it felt a little bit dark, but then I had the settings a little bit low, so I just increased it a bit, and then I could like see everything better by like 10%, and I was that was enough. Or does he mean like the level that you go? No, that's Hollow Knight, not Silksong. Yeah, I think maybe his monitor is a bit low. I don't know.
which is what kicks the second bollock. Oh, what a joy it is to be trying to speed my way to a boss fight I'm still trying to figure out, only to be knocked out of the air by a hovering twat for 2 damage.
Yeah, that's the run back for the last judge. I remember having a little bit of difficulty in the beginning when I was going for the run back there, and I realized you don't have to fight that fucking skill shot, insane, cracked guy who's constantly killing you. You just run past him. You can just like hold R2 and run past him, and you don't have to fight him. And then there's a jump that you do, and then there's another like a second jump that you can like skip a bunch of stuff by going through like this draft, like this tunnel thing, and then your last judge literally maybe 45 seconds from bench to the last judge. I can time it maybe. Yeah, after this, yeah, we do a little trial run, see how it goes, how many seconds, minutes, hours it takes me to get the last judge from the bench.
Into a bed of burning kitchen blenders and used heroin needles for another 2 damage. As Souls-likes have evolved, the concept of the boss run,
I think they you know what, they patched that. Like maybe they listened to the feedback there. So the environmental damage there, it does 1 damage instead of 2 damage now. So yeah, but if you just don't fall in it, it's fine.
Gauntlet separating the sparse checkpoints from the boss arenas have been downplayed a bit, I think, as we all came to the understanding that they were about as fun and reasonable as Pogo the Clown on a meth binge. But Silksong never got that memo. Makes me a bit nostalgic, actually, in the way crouching down next to a toilet makes me nostalgic for many a drunken night's invigorating post-match vomit session. And speaking of gauntlets, Silksong also has a whatever the insectile equivalent of a hard-on is for pseudo-boss.
Okay, it's obvious he hasn't played Bilewater. Like, that is a hellish, ghoulish nightmare of a run back. And that's if you found the secret bench. If you've done Bilewater without the secret bench, I don't know what kind of insanity you must have been going through to keep pushing yourself through that. That is an utter nightmare. I was very lucky to find the secret bench there. But like people, so I went back and looked up it. There are like YouTube videos that show you the secret bench. So if you're, I guess if you're having a lot of trouble finding like secret benches or like benches that you've missed out on, I feel like you can talk to your friends. This game, I believe, from the interviews and the feeling that I get, is inspired by old classic games on the Super Nintendo, like your classic, Metroid, your classic, so hard, so tough, filled with secrets, Link's Awakening kind of type games that you gotta talk to your friends. You play the game all night, and then the next day, you're with your friends. You're like, hey, I got to this section of the game, and they're like, what? You at this section? I'm at this section. Well, how'd you get there? Well, I used the bomb, and it was a crack there, and I put it there, and it blew up, and I'm now through this area. Like, what? You can do this? So there's so many fun realizations you can do. I feel like it's like a community-style exploration. I know you can, like, have, like, if you're really frustrated, you could, like, look it up on YouTube, or You could look it up, on Reddit, and then that will take the joy out of it. Like, oh, okay, I know how to get there now. But it's so much more fun, like figuring it out yourself. Like, have an exploring mindset. Run around. It's literally about exploring. It's not a boss rush game. It's like an exploring adventure game. And I think it's really nice to have this kind of difficulty where you can't finish the game in the first day, the first time you sit down. You want to come back to it. You want to come back to it. And as you're playing the game, you're talking to your friends. You're talking to other people, your enemies, and you're making friendships. You're rebuilding bridges from your enemies, and then you're talking about your experience. You're listening to their experience. I think it makes it so much better. It's like a feeling that you don't have like these days with games. Like a lot of games are designed around like 16 hours or something, like two playthroughs, and you're done with the game. Like one weekend, you're done with the story mode, and then the cash grab, the multiplayer comes in. You gotta buy the skins. You gotta buy the weapons. You gotta buy the weapon skins. You gotta buy this. You gotta buy that. The maps, the whatever, the DLC packs. Yeah, the FOMO, the missing out. Oh, there's a DLC pass. That's 2 weeks, 1 month. You gotta play now. Play now with your friends. Don't miss out. You gotta play. Keep playing. Keep playing. Give us money. Yeah. And then EA also was bought by a certain company, certain individuals. I'm not gonna comment on. Not gonna comment on. Uh, yeah. So the nickel and diming multiplayer stuff. So it's nice to see the single player stuff back in. Like I was in the wrong camp earlier years ago. Like I was a multiplayer kid. I'm like, single player stuff, boring. Let's get to the multiplayer. Have fun with your friends. But now the multiplayer scene is so rampant with these microtransactions and predatory companies. So no, thank you, but no, thank you. So yeah, I like it. I like having a game that some sections are too difficult that make you come back to it later. Like, give me more, please. Yes, thank you.
Fights that are just a sequence of gank sessions from regular enemies. I mean, Prowling Magus was always the shittiest Dark Souls 2 boss, and in this game he's set up a fucking franchise. It's disappointing because boss fights are always a highlight in these games. Silksong has some fucking great ones. The cogwork dancers are probably my personal favourite. So whenever I went into a room and the door slammed shut, my little antennae would twitch in anticipation, only to go all floppy when the ambush commences, and I'm like, oh, it's just 3 regular dudes, and then 3 more dudes, and then a boss, and then 9 more dudes, and then the boss again, but now he's brought his mum. It was one of these in the second act that ultimately soured me on the game for.
That's fine. Like, that's a fun experience. I enjoy those gauntlets. I don't know why he's so mad.
Good. It went on for 10 fucking phases. That's taking way too much piss. I need some left over for Randy P.
Yeah, game made me play too much of game. I therefore dislike game. I like game when I press one button and the game is done. And I feel good about myself because I can post a review. Then game is good, I guess. Let me press one button and game ends and I win. And I'm good. And I feel better because I win.
Pitchford's mouth. Up until that point I was enjoying the game. It had mostly been walking the fine line between merely kicking my bollocks and flat out rupturing them. In summary, Silksong is a game of high highs spread out across a vast plain of violent buggery. Artful, yes, but my recommendation comes down to if you'd enjoy a Renaissance painting more if it were rolled into a point and shoved up your ass.
Yeah, okay. So he gave up there. And I remember listening to him on a podcast saying that he got to an actual cool boss fight where he was going up against Lace, and he went up there once, died, then realized he has to go up a slow elevator up to fight Lace. My man, you can't be like fuming and mad all the time when you're playing video games. There are some downtime. Like if I'm glad that the game forces you to take 30 seconds to just chill, because when you die with that first encounter fighting Lace, you kind of have to reset a bit. Like you're at the bench. There's no death run. There's no insanity. You're literally, I think you take like 5 steps from the bench to the elevator. The elevator just goes up. Takes you like 5, maybe 8 seconds to get there. And that's it. You're there, my man. It's not that bad. I don't think you should have an experience where you're like on adrenaline for like 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour in, like you die, you go again, you die, you go again. It doesn't give you time to learn from the mistakes you've been doing. You're just going to keep doing the same mistakes. You're going to have a worse time, my dude. You're going to have a worse time playing the game. You want to have like a moment where you're like, oh, okay. Let me think. Okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Okay, go, let's go. And that's it. That's literally the time it takes for you to get there. Like, just reset your brain a little bit and then get in there. And a lot of times, these kind of games are based, especially like the bosses, are based on like pattern recognition, pattern memorization, and activating your skills based on those memorization of patterns. Like if to me, I kind of compare this a lot to like learning how to play music on an instrument or dancing, because like when you're playing music on an instrument, like let's say a guitar or a piano, I can't go like learning a song fantastic if I spent 8 hours on it nonstop just at it. I think it's better if you spend like an hour or two, go to bed, and then when you, from what I understand, when you're asleep, the neuron pathways in your brain are actually being connected and being more like long term memorization and pattern like comes in there, and then the next day you pick it up and you're like 10 times better than you were the day before, because your brain needs some downtime for it to come together and make it work and have that experience where you're um, building that neuron pathways in your brain. So that's what's good about these kind of games. You want to have that kind of experience. So like the same thing I would say about dancing. Like when you're like a dancer, you want to go dance, a few more times and a few more times and get better at it. And then a lot of those, Souls games, like that really does feel like a dance. You're moving one step left, dodge, one step right, avoid, another step left, then hit, then go back, then go forward, then go right, then hit, then go left. It really is this beautiful way of experiencing learning an instrument, learning how to dance, learning a fun activity, but in a video game form where you could do this in a safe environment. And what are you gonna do? Like you failed, oh, just hit retry, go again. And for people I know that went from this experience of like playing a video game, like, oh, I'm good at this. I'm gonna go one step further. I'm gonna learn an actual instrument and like perform something fun for my friends and for other people. So it's a great way. And then from video games you have like rhythm games, and rhythm games you have like music games and that sort of stuff. And it teaches you the skill set that you could have like a rhythm, and then you could be better in real life dancing and instruments and who knows socializing. I feel like poor Yahtzee's mind is broken in this game review angry mode, that he didn't even give Lace, the actual boss fight, a chance, because he's like, oh, I'm gonna wait a few seconds for an elevator to go up. Okay, you do you, buddy. You do you. The game's not for you, but don't tell me the game's not good. I'm sorry. You are purely like mistaken. You're sore. You're angry, and I think you have this high expectation of wanting to like something and be good at something, and you're faced with the reality that you're not good at it because the way you're playing it is wrong. It's completely wrong.
Ultimately soured me on the game for good. It went on for 10 fucking phases. That's taking way too much piss. I need some left over for Randy Pitchford's mouth. Up until that point I was enjoying the game. It had mostly been walking the fine line between merely kicking my bollocks and flat out rupturing them. In summary, Silksong is a game of high highs spread out across a vast plain of violent buggery. Artful, yes, but my recommendation
Yeah. All right.
comes down to if you'd enjoy a Renaissance painting more if it were rolled into a point and shoved up your ass.
Okay, I mean, I wish he would turn around, like somebody would sit him down and be like, try to experience this game in a different way. Like, go for the exploration, go like chill. You don't have to do it for review. Just chill for a minute and take a few days and just play the game. Just play the game and have fun, and see what we would say about it. What we got here? Silksong isn't for everyone.
Spoiler warning, yada yada, let's do this thing. So, Silksong's been out for about a month, which feels really weird to say because up until August, the game had an almost mythical status on
We're
par.
gonna skip the intro.
Almost every aspect of Hollow Knight's base game has been made more difficult in Silksong. The world in general feels way more dangerous with numerous traps, hazards, and enemy placements.
Oh, I love those benches, man. Give me more trap benches. Trap benches are hilarious. You want to laugh a bit? Go to YouTube and look at people falling for trap benches. I think that's absolutely hilarious.
That make some runbacks to bosses feel more stressful than the bosses themselves. It's like they looked at Path of Pain and thought, "F it, more like World of Pain." Platforming is more mechanically demanding with a heavier emphasis on pogo challenges, which the default version of has single-handedly proven that many of us need to retake trigonometry.
Yeah, you could also like switch up your crest, my man. Get the Reaper, or was it the Hunter? Yeah, those are those.
Basic enemies are much more threatening and sometimes have
No,
more
Hunter is the default. Reaper, yeah, that's the one. Get the Reaper one.
complexity than half of Hollow Knight's bosses. Not to mention how Team Cherry took the primal Aspid, the most hated bitch in Hollow Nest, and said, what if we made a game where half the enemy roster is this guy but somehow more annoying? And the bosses, while I wouldn't say are super mechanically complex, are much more punishing due to having many moves and contact damage that hits for 2 masks, as well as many bosses spawning very
Two masks. Man, all right, I get it. Like, all right, 2 masks. Like, just chill. Like, you heal for 3. You heal for 3 masks, my man.
disruptive ads or even having waves of ads before the boss even starts. Which, by the way, if you want a cheese strat for Grohl the Great, just stay in the water. Makes the fight a lot easier.
I don't think that's cheese. I think that's like a legit way of fighting this guy. I was suffering with Grohl the Great, fucking bile water. I was suffering. I think I was there for like an entire day. I could not with bile water. I really hated it a lot, but it was fun. Now that I know what you're supposed to do, I should do on stream. We'll see how fast I can get through bile water now. There's an item that you can get that lets you negate the maggots. The thing I hated the most was the goddamn maggot water. There's an item you can get that negates the effects of the maggot water. You can swim in it as much as you like. You don't get that item, you can swim in it and not be able to heal. Sure, kind of sucks, but who cares? You're not going to take any damage if you're swimming around and popping up and giving a hit or 2. It's cool, man.
Yeah, I cheesed it. I'm not above cheesing. Bile water can drink my bile water. All of this adds up to an experience that I'd not only argue is more difficult than Hollow Knight, but more cruel and punishing as well. And that's the pain point a lot of people have felt with Silksong. And I think that's a perfectly valid feeling to have. The original Hollow Knight sold over 15 million copies, garnering...
Yeah, how many of those people who played Hollow Knight had that pain, realize that they can do something better, improve themselves, and then get better? And it takes time. Like I said earlier, you don't get better instantly. You get better over time. Like, that's what I feel like people are forgetting. Like, those games take time. Like, imagine if, like, the guitar was just invented today. Like, there was no guitar. Like, we had piano, we had violins, we had horns, we had all... And then, you know, Gibson came out like, guys, we got this new thing, guitars. And then people buy it, and they're like, my man, it's too hard. Like, I gotta move my fingers around. I can't learn this in one day. I can do piano. I'm good at piano. I'm good at horn. I'm good at trumpet. I'm good at saxophone. Guitar, it's taking me too long. I'm bad. I can't do the solos I can do on a saxophone. I can do guitar. No good for solos. Look, I could just do some chords. That's it. Guitar, no good, man. But it takes time. It takes time. People come around. They discover as a community. They spend time. They sleep. They wake up. They practice. They sleep. They wake up. They do a gig. They sleep. They wake up. They get better. And they get better. And over time, they get better. And then you have solos. You have double guitars. You have 2 neck guitars. You have, you know, insane things you can do. So I really think it's the same analogy that you can apply to like games that are fun and hard.
a wide spectrum of players,
Challenging.
from no-hit speedrunners to people like my wife who have over 100 hours in unpacking. And I don't think it's unreasonable to say that fans in the latter camp feel a bit estranged by Silksong. The original Hollow Knight certainly had its challenges, particularly in the post-game content, but it wasn't a game where the difficulty was the core part of its identity. For many, the enjoyment in Hollow Knight came from the exploration and organic sense of discovery as you traversed the tunnels, ruins, and hallways of Hollow Nest. It came from the charming cast of characters that offered an oasis of joviality in a world drenched in melancholy. And it came from piecing together an obscure narrative and lore that led to people.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think people played Hollow Knight for just the lore alone. Like, you get the lore as well. Like, you go there for the world, the fun platforming, the bosses, the interesting characters and lore and things. It's an addition. It's not the main thing people be going there for.
People writing whole-ass dissertations about it. Of course, Silksong.
Yeah, have you seen how many YouTube videos are about Elden Ring and Dark Souls, my man? I'm gonna assume more than Hollow Knight. Okay, you got your Mustang, you got okay, Lore Variants. I don't know who Skyron is. I assume they're good YouTuber as well. But like, entire industry is built upon the Souls, especially FromSoft games. Like, so many YouTubers, an entire like YouTube, Twitch industry is built just farming, getting the lore out of those games. And those games are hard, notoriously hard. The marketing even jokes about, prepare to die and all this stuff. Like, and they're way harder than Hollow Knight.
About it. Of course, Silksong has those qualities, but unlike Hollow Knight, the difficulty feels like it is the core of its identity rather than just a part of it. I know everyone's tolerance for challenge varies, but for myself,
I don't know why my brain couldn't handle these two. I was there for like a couple of hours at least, because it takes you time to get that. And that's the other thing I love and I fucking hate about this goddamn game. When you're playing those gauntlets and you got a bit of run back, the punishment, when you get to the part where you died last, instantly your breathing changes, you start sweating, you start making dumbass mistakes. I feel like if you didn't care, there was no punishment, you play flawless, like, oh, okay, dead. But suddenly, because you know that you're gonna die and you're gonna have to do all the gauntlet again, and you have to do all the running again, and then you have to, if you've spent shards, they're gone, you gotta farm them again. You're like, holy, I can't. And you start playing different than how you normally play, and your brain intrusion starts coming in, and you don't play naturally. You don't play like instinctively, reactively. You start thinking, because you want to like not die, so you start playing cautiously, and you start playing more thinkingly and less reactively, less instinctively, which leads you to make more mistakes, to get into like a position where you're gonna get killed. Or you start being like, oh, okay, I want to get through this, let me play more aggressive, and you play different than your normal self, and you take more chances and risks than you normally would, which gets you punished and killed. It's a really interesting way of having that kind of difficulty and challenge. Like, the difficulty is the same, but you're gonna die a lot more, because if you make a mistake, you're gonna go back, which is really interesting. Makes it a lot more fun and a lot more like sweaty as you're playing the game, which I think is a great way of designing. I think it's a fantastic thing that they've created here with Silksong, having that kind of experience. And I know I'm gonna steal this line I've heard somewhere. Somebody said that if you don't want to have a boss run back, it takes too long, just play on steel mode or silk steel mode. That you die at the boss, no run back, all good. Just Alt F4, goodbye save file.
itself, there were some points that just felt like they were made to be hard or tedious for their own sake rather than for fun, and ends up distracting from the other positive qualities I mentioned. Like, sometimes I'd reach a new area, and instead of thinking, oh boy, I wonder what I'll find here, I'd think, oh boy, I wonder what I'll die to here. I want to emphasize that
I be true. Like I when you first enter, you're like, holy shit, what insanity, depravity awaits for me here. I feel like the game also has a sense of sheer terror and like darkness that you wouldn't like. What do you want, like teddy bears and cuddly things welcoming you to the stage? You're not gonna get the same feeling. I'm sorry.
Silksong's difficulty isn't something I personally find to be a bad thing. All of my points of frustration were followed by a rush of exhilaration after overcoming them, and I'm overall comfortable with the difficulty despite the moments where I'd be looking at Hornet's cloak the way a bull looks at a Moletta. But regardless of how I feel about it, it's clear that a lot of people who are fans of Hollow Knight were not expecting this level of challenge from Silksong and are a bit disappointed. The fact that there were mods to make this game easier on like the day after the game came out just
Okay. I'm sure there are mods for easy games the day came after that makes the game even easier. Like what? Like give me a baseline. How often do mods come out for a game that makes the game easier? I'm sure there's like mods instantly for all kinds of games.
tells me that, yeah, it's a bit too much for a large chunk of the fan base. Naturally, this whole debacle has spawned plenty of calm and rational discourse around an easy.
They hate hard. Maybe I should watch this. No. I recognize this thumbnail layout. Is it the bearded guy that they hate? I have to look it up, man. Or did he just make it up? Because I feel like it's in the style of that one YouTuber, that weird racist, sexist guy. And of course you have the crying lib here.
Easier difficulty being added to the game, and it's panned out the same way every other time this topic comes up, with people who would like an easy mode being labeled as whiny, entitled babies, and those opposed to it being labeled as gatekeeping elitists. It happened with Sekiro, it happened with Elden Ring, and it's happening now with Silksong.
Oh shit, I'm in the elitist category apparently.
I'm aware that social media pushes the most provocative and extreme voices in the spotlight regarding any topic, but being aware of that doesn't make it any less exhausting. I personally don't see a problem with easy modes being added to games purely from an accessibility standpoint. People seem to forget that difficulty is entirely relative, and someone being able to tune the level of challenge to something that's appropriate for them seems like a no-brainer to me. I don't particularly get what's so objectionable about this. Like, I'm not gonna yell at a child for using training wheels on his bike.
I think you should. Not for that reason though. Not for that reason. Interesting analogy. Apparently, training wheels do not teach you how to use the bike. Like, I think it's much faster and more fun and easier if you learn how to ride a bike without training wheels. From what I understand, training wheels you cannot learn how to ride a bike if you use training wheels, which is insane because they're called training wheels. Because as you ride a bike, when you're turning, your body is shifting left or right to turn, and then you turn the wheel as your body turns, because you can't tilt one way and turn the other way. Your body turns and leans as you're turning through the bike. Otherwise, if you're like perfectly standing still, straight upright, and you turn the bike, you fucking fall over. You need to lean in. You gotta lean, and you can't lean in, and you can't get that concept of leaning in and understanding of how that works if you have training wheels on. So you wanna not have them. You could, like, if you have a kid that really wants to learn and they can't figure out pedaling for some reason, you can kick it. Use your feet. Like, take out the pedals. You could remove the pedals or get a kick bike. Like for the little 2-year-olds, the little 3-year-olds, I don't know, like, how old are kids when they're running around? Like 4, 5, 12, 9, 300-year-old kid? Yeah. Put your 3-year-old child on the bicycle, and then they can kick. They kick with their feet, and then as they turn with their body, they turn. They develop that instinct the motor instinct, the pathways build up, they topple up, they solidify into the brain, and then you can add the pedals, and then boom, voila, you learn how to ride a bike. Training wheels, yeah. I'm gonna yell at people from now on if I see a kid with training wheels. I'm like, hey, you parents, you dumb, you no good parent, take them off. Do this other thing. You're actively harming the kid's learning abilities how to ride a bike.
I'm gonna yell at him for being a stinky, dumb freeloader. Stop being a leech on society. Get a job, you loser. But I'm in complete agreement that adding such options is entirely up to the developer. If the vision for their game includes difficulty options, great. And if it doesn't,
Yeah, their game. They do what they want, man. Like, they sold the 15 million copies of Hollow Knight, not because the game's too easy. I imagine if the game was too easy, maybe they would have sold more or less. What do you think? I don't know. Comment and then below. Do you think they would have sold more if the game was like way easy, like super easy?
also great. Furthermore, there's nothing wrong with a developer adding these options or tweaking their game's difficulty after the fact without it being considered caving to the mob, as some like to put it. Like, did you know that the original Dark Souls got a post-launch patch that rebalanced the amount of souls rewarded to the easy mode? I don't know, maybe? It's not really for any of us to decide. I think it's perfectly reasonable to suggest more options for players.
Oh, the gang squad. Oh, the fucking gang squad. They get rough. They get rough. The fucking, yep.
Who want a more casual or forgiving experience, and I don't think they're entitled or whining for wanting that. That being said, I'm gonna stake my claim as the billionth YouTuber to quote Arrowhead Studios, "A game for everyone is a game for no one." Despite its massive success, Hollow Knight
Everyone keeps quoting that. I don't think it's a great quote, but sure, I get the sentiment.
is still very much a niche game that didn't click with everyone. The first time I tried it in 2018, I played it for only a few hours before putting it down and feeling really weird about it. Here was a game that I was hearing nothing but good things about that, for one reason or another, I was not enjoying. Of course, I eventually picked it up again
Was the game too hard? Was it too hard? Is that why you didn't enjoy it?
years later, but at the time, I couldn't comprehend why I didn't enjoy aspects about it that everyone else seemed to enjoy, until I finally realized that it just wasn't for me at that moment in time. I obviously can't speak for everyone, but I'd wager there might be some people out there sharing a similar experience now with Silksong. A lot of people are clearly enjoying the game,
Yeah,
and
people are enjoying it. When you say a lot of people are not enjoying the game, I'm like, sure. Is it 10? 10 is a lot of people. 50 is 100 is a lot of people. 1,000, that's a lot of people. But like, didn't the game like literally break Steam? GOG. Oh no, I don't know if GOG was broken, but Steam and definitely Nintendo were both broke. You could not buy the game for like an hour, like 45 minutes, an hour. People could not buy the game because they didn't have pre-orders, so everyone was on the same time trying to buy the game, and people were buying the game on GOG instead, so you could actually play the game within the first hour.
and those that aren't are having a hard time coming to grips with a sequel to a game that they love, leaning into aspects that they don't care for as much and are just not clicking with it. Some people want to love it, but just can't. And that disconnect can be a bit disheartening sometimes, especially for something so highly anticipated.
Can't love it. Yeah, just go. Your place is too hard. Go the alleyway. Go somewhere easier. Explore the rest of the game, man. There's more to it.
I think that's a feeling a lot of us can relate to, and maybe it's worth acknowledging and empathizing with that instead of just telling people to get good or skill issue.
Okay, I'm not gonna say okay. You should get good, but also take a break. Like, if you take a break, you unironically get good in your brain, and then you come back and you're better. You got good, and then you can play the game and you can have fun. You can have fun if you got good, and then you can play the game again and then have it while you got good, get more good, play hitless, play do the packages hitless. Oh my god, I hated that when I was trying to figure out what I was trying to do there. Yeah. Unironically, like, get exploring, and then that makes you get your character good, and also you get good and you get to have fun.
And for those who may be experiencing that disconnect, it may just be that Silksong isn't for you right now, but maybe somewhere down the line you'll revisit it and hopefully find the same joy in it that you did with Hollow Knight. But for now, Silksong isn't for everyone, and that's okay.
Yeah, it is not for everyone. I would say that is correct. And I would also say, yeah, it's not for everyone right now. Like, literally, play the game, take your time. If it's not for you right now, take a break, and come back to it later. Yeah. I kind of agree with his take there. Yep. Okay. I like it. I like it. It's not, yeah. I feel like it's a bit negative. Did he like the game? I feel like a lot of the video was him talking about other people and what they thought of the game. A lot of other people. I don't know, this vocal minority, I would say. Yeah. So, I guess I could do one more, and then we can call it a day. Is Silksong too hard? That seems good. What Silksong is like for someone bad at games like Silksong. Okay. We took a peek at that one.
Guys, I'm back talking about
Hollow Knight Silksong. Too hard or just tedious? Ooh, okay. Silksong design philosophy is puzzling. Ooh, maybe I could do this one later. This is interesting. 35-minute video. Silksong difficulty and discourse needs to be discussed. Oh yeah, he is right. And I am doing it right now. I am doing the discussion. Yes, I already agree with the title of this video. So let's not review this one because I agree. But I'll have to check it out later. Maybe I disagree with the other things. Disagree. Silksong might be too hard. Yeah, a lot of these. Okay. Maybe I could take. Maybe I feel like I'll agree with this guy. Is Silksong too hard? Should I do it? A video I agree with or I disagree with? Let me just see what.
Silksong too hard? That's been the conversation that's been going on the past week since the game released, and I definitely think it's an interesting one worth diving into because I don't think it's super black and white. Now, this whole debate raged. I was away on a little vacation trying to touch grass, but
Okay.
I have jumped into Hollow Knight Silksong since it dropped. I've been playing it on Switch 2, and I'm still in the early days, but so far so good. It's definitely more different than Hollow Knight than I expected, just in terms of like complexity,
like Act 1
amount
so
of
far.
NPCs, amount of things going on, amount of gameplay systems
Okay, I think he's just like jumping on the bandwagon to have this discussion.
and upgrades to your character and move sets, and also just like way more vibrant, even more beautiful art. I'm really enjoying my time, but that aside, the whole difficulty conversation has been something, man, because you look on social media, some of you guys actually reached out to me and asked me what I thought about
it. Is his room tilted? His entire world is tilted? Or is his camera a little bit tilted?
I appreciate that. But you look on social media, you look on Reddit, and specifically like the Hollow Knight fan Reddits and stuff, and there is a lot of back and forth about the difficulty. And this is interesting because
okay, I don't think I can take this guy seriously because he hasn't even played the game, and he's gonna be talking about the discourse. So I'm sorry, I can't take your opinion. Okay, let's see this guy. Too hard or just tedious?
Hollow Knight Silksong. Why? Because this game has been absolutely dominating my life for the past several days. Now, I did make a video a few days ago talking about my overall impressions of the game, and I did recommend it, and I still feel exactly the same way as I did in that video, but obviously after a lot more time with the game, there's a few more things I actually kind of want to discuss with the game, and that is actually about the difficulty that the game is offering. I feel like difficulty in video games is kind of like getting brushed over a lot in this day and age, thanks to the Souls series and the whole Souls-like formula that is going on in this day and age, and I think that's a bit unfair. I don't think it's like normal to just turn around and tell everybody to like get good because like they're struggling at a video game or something like that. I mean, I've played a lot of hard games over the years, and I love my challenges. I mean,
Yes,
some
good
of my
point.
more
Yes.
like things
Yeah.
that I consider hard in video games, like beating stuff like Ninja Gaiden 2, the original on Xbox 360 on Master Ninja, you know, like stuff like that was incredibly difficult and challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only ever done it a couple of times in my life because it is actually that hard. I'm not someone who wants to become someone who knows the ins and outs of the mechanics of the game to trivialize it in that regard. But as like a challenge, there's so many like things in video games I've done. I've played like strategy games on their highest difficulties. Some people say they could never beat some of these games, but I enjoy that aspect about them. So I'm kind of like giving you a little bit of a resume of the fact that I have beat a lot of games
My man plays hard games. Okay.
on their hard modes, and I do understand, I think, what makes video games challenging and what makes other aspects of video games challenging. So I'm not just making this video for the sake of it. I think like having a discussion about things like this is completely valid and fair. To get on to the topic about Silksong though,
Yeah.
I do think there's a lot of players that kind of just dismiss the hard versus tedious aspect of games. There's a huge difference between hard versus tedious. Yes, you've got your hard games that are fair, and then you've got things that are actually just tedious for the sake of being tedious. And I'm not saying I'm not enjoying Silksong, but there's a bunch of stuff in this game that is just tedious for the sake of actually being tedious.
I kind of agree. I'm gonna say I sort of agree. Bile water. I believe is strongly made. It's hard, but also like frustrating. It's your swamp. It's your Miyazaki swamp. Let's make a place where people will hate themselves playing this game. And you know, if you don't know the ins and outs of the mechanics you can do to make your life better, it is really frustrating and tedious. So I will agree. Bile water fits that definition.
I brought up in my last video about the unnecessary time it takes to get from a bench back to the boss. The boss runbacks are absolutely kind of crazy in this game in my honest opinion, and I honestly don't think Dark
I disagree. Give me examples except for Bile water. There's one bench there. I will agree. It's on purpose. Yeah.
Souls or any of the other games were half as bad as what Silksong has done to people in this game. In my honest opinion, yes, there was boss runbacks in some of the games, and some could be unnecessarily long, but almost every single one in Hollow Knight Silksong is unnecessarily long. And this is not
Almost every single. I disagree. I really disagree. I feel like most of them are nearby.
hard in my opinion. This is just creating a tedium of hopefully catching you off your guard because you're frustrated about dying the odd couple of times, and then you die along the way, getting frustrated, dying to the ads that are all over the level.
My man, if you're dying to the ads on the way to the level, you are in the wrong level. Like, be somewhere else, get better, and come on. The run back should be trivial. I really believe this. In my heart, I say, when you're playing this game, the run back should really be, you should have the ability and tool set to make it trivial. If you're not actually like if your character isn't good and leveled up, I'm gonna use the word leveled up, even though you can't level up. I mean, like your abilities, you got your abilities and things, your dash, your run, your different tools that you can have, then you're in the wrong place. Like, go explore the easier levels. I think I had the same issue playing Elden Ring. Like when you first meet the insane NPC, he's like, "Oh, you're welcome to the Elden Plane. You need to go north and follow the light. Go that way." Seems trustworthy. Yeah, I'm gonna follow that guy's directions and go north. No thanks. I'm gonna go south. You go north, you end up going to the filter, where what's his name? That boss that throw knives at you, has the hammer. The filter boss gets you. But you can ignore the NPC's insane advice. If you met a guy on the street and he's like, "Oh, welcome to New York, traveler. You want to find a good time? There's this lovely alleyway. Just follow me into this dark alley. Just this way. Just turn right on Main Street, and this lovely alley that we can go to. That is the way to get to the theater in New York. Yes, yes." I mean, he could be an actor, like how most actors are in New York, desperate, hungry, starving, and then he's being honest with his directions. So I would say yes. If you're in New York, follow that maniacal person to the theater, because he will show you the quickest way to get to the theater through the dark alleyway. But any other scenario, if you're not in New York, if you're in some other, city, that person is setting up, to rob you. They're setting, they're setting you onto a path where their friends, his lovely gang, can rob you, take all your money, maybe your organs as well. Any other person, or also video game, is talking to you in this fashion, avoid their advice. You don't have to follow their advice. You can clearly go a different path. And in Elden Ring, you can go south to that, like I call it Starter Island, and then you can go there and then level up and get better at the game mentally, and then your character can get better. So when you go to the Great Filter, you're ready. You're ready to go. You're ready to rock. You're ready to rock and roll. You may bring it, and you can maybe one try, maybe two try, maybe under 5, under 10 tries, get him, and then you're good. So that's my feelings with this. So you could just explore and get better.
That's honestly what the game is doing, and it makes you wonder what the developer really wants like people to think while playing this game. Are they just like, well, you can just heal back, it doesn't really matter? But like, do you honestly want like people seeing the same hallway several times on their runway back to the boss?
I think it's supposed to add stress. It's supposed to make you feel like, oh my god, I have a consequence for my actions. Like, back in the old days, you messed up in the game. There was no run back, checkpoint. You gotta do the whole thing all over again. I think there was some developments where like save. You could save the game, and then play the game from your save points. And then I think the arcades, you gotta put some money. Give me money, me, thank you. And then you can play some more.
The boss fight, that's actually like the unnecessarily bad effect it can have on bosses. It makes you just like be happy about even beating the boss. It's just like, well, I'm just glad that area is like finally behind me and I'm not even caring about the boss at this point. Because
I don't know, I get through a tough boss fight within an inch of my life. I'd be like, oh, can I play this again? I want to be able to play the boss over and over again. I think it's because I want to get better and better. I want to be able to like no-hit bosses. It's so fun having a really tough and challenging boss and getting the mechanics perfectly right. And then you get a rhythm, you get this dance. I'm going back to the music analogy and dancing analogy there with it. Yeah, you get better. I don't want to sloppily beat the boss. Just I barely did it. I never want to play it again. Nah, man. The opposite. I want to get better and better and better and better. I want to be able to like no-hit the boss.
in my honest opinion, I genuinely don't think any boss in this game that I've fought so far, all the way to Act 3, was really, really difficult, because their patterns are really easy to recognize in this game.
Yeah, true.
What I do think can be hard about the game, in all honesty, is the run backs to the bosses or the gauntlets, purely because of the fact that you have to kind of like pray a little bit to RNG with some of the gauntlets.
I don't know about that. There's one gauntlet I will agree that was really, really tough. I guess there's Bile Water, but there was also the Coral Reef Coral Gauntlet. That was fucking me up, man. That was a tough ass gauntlet, but I look back fondly. But you can skip the entire gauntlet once you get to the checkpoint. That's one room before the boss. So you can avoid like 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms or something like that, and then just do the final room, and then you hit the boss. Imagine if they didn't have the checkpoint, the shortcut that you have to do the entire gauntlet again. That would have been insane. I would have hated it. I don't know if I would have defended. Maybe that's like the one thing I was indefensible. But you got a checkpoint. You got a shortcut, and you can avoid the entire gauntlet. And once you've done it, and then you can just do the final room and then the boss. So I don't think there is a really entirely insane punishing gauntlet before the boss that you have to run every single time. The worst I could say was like, it was like 3 waves in Bile Water. That was it. And it was not that bad once you know what to do.
And that's because if you're fighting like 4 enemies on screen or something, everybody's going to kind of struggle with like 4 enemies on screen. I have died mostly in this game to just like gauntlets where there's like 4 enemies on screen and I need to micromanage a bunch of RNG. Not the actual bosses themselves, because like I say, I think the bosses' patterns are crazy easy. The only way the game really feels like it can kill good players is to create unnecessary tedium through some of their gauntlets and their runbacks, in my honest opinion. And I don't think the developer should have went down that road personally. I think he should have balanced that aspect of the game better, in my honest opinion. And I think maybe the runbacks to the bosses, maybe let's say half the bosses should have had like a save bench right next to them. Not like 80% of them have 5+ minute runbacks. I think
5-minute run. Man, where are you? Give me examples, please. 5-minute runbacks. Did you like miss the bench entirely? There's no way. There's no way you're running 5-minute. Like maybe he means a minute, 2. He's bad. 5-minute runbacks. Okay.
that would have been a lot better for the game, and you would have made people enjoy fighting your actual bosses a lot more. I'd love to hear what people actually think about that aspect. I don't think this game is too hard personally from a skill point perspective.
Okay, I get it. Just it's not too hard. It's just tedious because no benches. My man wants benches, more benches. Okay, I think he must be missing the bench. I think there are good amount, and then I feel like you want to have some that give you a minute, 30 seconds a minute, maybe 2 minutes of run back. And then those kind of like developments make it more interesting because it makes it more risky, makes it more fun to play, and it's harder. Like it gives you like a challenge, and it makes you think about your consequences because there is a punishment for like not being able to do the boss right away, and it also gives you some reset time to cool down a bit. Let's say you couldn't do it, you could like have a little tea break. He's like British, I guess. He could go have tea and cookies or beans on toast. Think about the moment, then come back and play again, and then he's better. Boom, done. Yeah, good for you. Get some beans on your toast. Get some crumpets with your tea. But there's, I think, one thing I could do when we're signing off here. We could look at people falling to trap benches. Let's see here, because I think that's like a fun way we could jump off here. No. Because this was fun. Let's see. Oh, look at. I love Biowater. Yeah, this person's insane. Metroidvania protection. I might have to watch that later. Raging compilation of rage. Okay, that's just them playing. Avoid. Oh, here we go. So.
Oh.
Yeah. I love this. Make the game harder, please, so we can watch people suffer and laugh at their amusement. It's great. Look at that. Hear that pounding. So.
Hollow Knight? Of course I get bitch slapped in the face. Will you? Oh, yes.
Look at that face. Priceless.
I was about to praise Team Cherry right now, to be like, oh my god, guys, look, a free bench in Silksong? What is this, Hollow Knight? Of course I get bitch slapped in the face. Will you do that again if I sit on you? Yep, okay.
No, they should have killed him. They should have given him 4 damage.
Fucking great. So this bench is a fucking oh my god, dude. Is that why the ants strung up the bench fucking
Did he pre-play that? This is kind of fishy, man. Like, I feel like he's farming that reaction. What was that?
This bench is a fucking oh my god.
He found the lever that deactivates the bench.
Dude. Is that why the
And he's not
ants
even
strung
acknowledging
up
it.
the bench fucking These slimy bastards, dude! That's amazing. Okay, so that disables the trap, I'm imagining, and now I can rest. Oh my god.
Pre-played. Definitely.
I bet that was William's idea.
Oh, now
go.
he's happy. Okay. Oh, now we like it when the game's hard. Okay.
Rest up. Go fucking. I'm gonna destroy every fucking ant in this goddamn nest. Does that turn it into a normal bench? Does that? Does that turn it into a Does that turn it into a normal bench? Or did I accidentally rig it to fucking explode?
Yeah, explode. Yeah, definitely.
I don't trust that shit, man. Okay, we good.
Yeah, it's great. Great content. Make the game harder. I think. Give me more of this, please.
Oh my god, it's a bench.
Look at his relief. Look how happy he is. Seconds away from despair.
What? Whoa, it's crazy!
Almost dead. He doesn't even need the bench, man. He had healing and everything. Why do you need a bench there? You're good, bro. Is he leaving?
Oh, whoa.
Oh, he finds a switch. Team Cherry, get bench.
It turned it off. Okay, thank God.
And then relief. Look at that, a roller coaster of emotions. Like, you know, relief, initial relief, then despair, anger, frustration, and then ultimate relief there. Look,
okay. I was like,
My man
I was
is
like, there
floating.
has to be a way
He's
to not have the
flying right
trap. God, I hated that section. that's my bench of truth right now. I disliked that section, and I am objectively correct. Like, I understand
My
the
man has not seen Bilewater. He has not
Region
seen
for
Bilewater.
good reason. The enemy.
So I think. Does he get? Okay, yeah.
there's a bench.
This is the best bench in the game. Like, I really hated it, but we gotta see some reactions. This is the Bilewater fake bench. You thought the first one was bad, man. You were playing Bilewater. It's so frustrating. You finally get
I
bench.
missed that bench.
It is something else. It is pure
How did I
despair.
miss that bench sign?
Look, and
How
it's an
did I
official
miss
bench.
this sign?
And where do you fall? You fall down the hole into maggot water. Thank you, game. And then you don't even fix that bench. It's gone. The other one had a switch. This one is like, fuck you. Bye, bench.
Yes!
Oh, it feels.
Everyone sits on this bench. They take their hands off the controls. And then bye-bye. Good night. Into the maggot water.
curious.
You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Please give me the bench. Thank God.
Get wrecked. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Really?
And there's no bench there. You gotta find the secret bench.
Really?
Look how far that was. Like, okay, that's the bench. Suffering, utter hell, and suffering. And then I think, yeah, you're somewhere there where the bench falls. And then, yeah, thank you.
Really?
Thank you, game.
Really? Are you? No. Okay,
we
bench. Oh my God, it's free. No. No, no,
At least he reacted. He jumped.
no. What?
You can't escape. You will land in the maggot water if you go down that hole. You can't. There's no escape.
There's no fucking way, dude. There's no fucking way, dude. There's I'll back. I need a break. Who hurt you, Team Cherry?
That's what I was saying. Go take a break and come back, man. Like, the game will force you to do that. Like, it's fine. Oh, Pinkaro. Let's see his reaction.
What the fuck? Thanks, I guess.
Not angry enough.
Asshole.
Slight anger. Not angry enough though.
So it's a fake bench sign? Is that what I'm seeing right now?
Oh, he has hope. He's coming. He's coming looking for
Yeah,
another
it was.
bench.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, that was fun. Fun reaction. So, yeah, that's my reaction to the discourse about the difficulty. I'm saying, game not hard enough. Make it harder, please. Let the streamers suffer. Let's laugh at them in the chat. But as a game for people who are playing the game and having fun, I think the difficulty is just great. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait for more of this. I imagine they're already on the DLC, and it's gonna be even harder. And it's gonna be so exciting, so interesting to play. I'm already doing the my second playthrough, and you can like and subscribe to this video, and then watch my other content here. I did a react video to aim on animations. That was fun. Like he was doing the animation of the Legend of Ethan Klein. Really fun, disturbing, amazing video. But also, more importantly, my playthrough through Silksong, where you get to laugh at me and enjoy my suffering as I go through the game. I think because it's my second playthrough, I will be less confused going through and die less and have less suffering. I hope and I imagine, and I'm gonna have show you my experience playing the game and how fun it is to experience this game and how well designed it is, and pacing and the attacks and the combinations of things you can do mixed with the combinations of enemies and the things they can do with bosses. I think it's fantastic. So yeah, I'm gonna say thank you for watching, and we'll stick around and we'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Bye.